If you're tired of sending out resumes that no one responds to, if you feel an inexplicable resistance every time you try to apply for jobs, if you experience a deep restlessness even when you land good jobs, stop everything right now and pay attention. Because what you're about to discover in the next few minutes could literally change the entire direction of your life. That feeling of being stuck, that laziness, that paralyzes you when you should be job hunting, that inner voice saying you were made for something greater. It's not a character flaw, it's not lack of discipline, and it's definitely not you being irresponsible. It's God blocking you from paths that will take you away from the divine purpose He planted in you. Here's the controversial truth no one told you. If you're chosen, you weren't created to spend your life building someone else's dream while your own divine gift dies inside you without being activated. God has a completely different plan for your provision. A new spiritual economy where you're rewarded for purpose fulfilled, not hours worked. Where provision flows naturally when you're in correct alignment, not when you're sweating in a job that drains your soul. But to enter this dimension of mission-based abundance, you need to stop chasing jobs and start pursuing the calling that's been haunting you all along. In the next few minutes, you'll understand why that resistance you feel isn't laziness, but divine redirection. You'll discover how to transform your natural gift into a work tool instead of a hobby. And most importantly, you'll learn the practical steps to start building from your purpose today without waiting to be 100% ready. If you're frustrated because nothing in the traditional job market works for you, if you feel you were made for something greater but don't know how to monetize it, if you want to finally leave the system that suffocates you and enter the divine flow of provision, this message is for you. Take a deep breath, because what's coming now will completely revolutionize your view of work, money, and purpose. Here's a truth that will sound controversial, but needs to be said. If you're chosen, you weren't created to spend your entire life building someone else's dream while your own purpose dies inside you. Traditional jobs serve a function in the world, but for those who carry a specific divine gift and a clear spiritual mission, working in mundane systems that suffocate your creativity and drain your energy is like caging an eagle. Technically it survives, but never fulfills what it was designed to do. God didn't give you unique talents for you to use them building someone else's vision who doesn't even value you. The conventional work system was designed for the masses, not for the chosen. It operates on a logic of trading time for money, fitting into predefined boxes, following orders without questioning, repressing your individuality to do well in the company. But the chosen one carries something inside that simply doesn't fit this mold. A purpose so specific and powerful that trying to squeeze it into a common job description is completely wasting the divine potential that was planted in you. It's not that work is bad. It's that working outside your spiritual alignment slowly kills your soul. Chasing employment when you should be building your purpose is like using a diamond to do the work of common stone. It works, but it's an absurd waste of what you're really worth. You were made to create, not to execute others' scripts, to lead, not just to follow, to transform lives using your divine gift, not to punch a clock and count the days until retirement. And if this idea scares you because you were programmed to believe that security comes from a fixed salary, hang tight, because what's coming next will completely dismantle this limiting belief that keeps you trapped. Have you ever felt completely stuck when trying to apply for jobs, as if something invisible prevented you from sending that resume or sabotaged you in interviews? The world will call you lazy, undisciplined, a slacker who doesn't want to work. But here's the truth no one told you. What you're experiencing isn't laziness, it's divine resistance. It's God literally blocking you from paths that will take you away from your mission, creating such great discomfort in wrong situations that you simply can't move forward even when you try. This block isn't a character flaw, it's spiritual GPS redirecting you. Divine resistance manifests in specific ways. You procrastinate infinitely on tasks related to jobs that aren't aligned with your purpose. But when it comes to activating the gift God gave you, you work hours without even feeling time pass. You feel profound exhaustion just thinking about returning to traditional corporate structures, but vibrate with energy when you're using your natural talent. You unconsciously sabotage selection processes you should want to pass, because something inside you knows, even if your rational mind won't accept it, that path is a dangerous detour from the destiny that was traced for you. Stop fighting this resistance and start listening to what it's telling you. God didn't make you lazy. He planted a holy restlessness in you that prevents you from settling for anything less than your complete purpose. This same laziness that paralyzes you in common jobs will transform into fierce discipline when you're building from your divine gift, because you'll finally be in alignment with what you were designed to do. The issue isn't that you're incapable of working hard. It's that you're incapable of wasting your life working hard at the wrong things. That talent you've always had, that thing you do naturally better than most people, that skill others admire but you think is normal because it comes too easily for you. That's not a hobby, not a pastime, not something to do in your spare time. It's literally your divine work tool, the instrument God placed in your hands for you to fulfill the mission you came to accomplish here. Whether it's writing, creating art, teaching, healing, building businesses, public speaking, organizing systems, this specific gift is your divine assignment disguised as natural talent. The fatal mistake most make is treating the gift as entertainment while wasting 8 hours a day doing work anyone could do. They paint on weekends, but work in an office all week, right at night after dragging themselves through a job they hate. Have brilliant business ideas, but never leave the planning stage because they need stability first. But here's the truth. Your gift isn't plan B for when you retire or have free time. It's God's plan A for how you should have been making a living all along, impacting the world and being abundantly sustained at the same time. Activating your gift as a profession instead of a hobby requires a radical mindset shift. It means stopping seeing your talent as luck or a present and starting to treat it as the sacred business it is. It means investing in the tools, the learning, the visibility necessary for this gift to reach the people who need it. It means charging for the value you deliver instead of giving it away for free because you're afraid to commercialize something spiritual. God didn't give you a divine gift for you to starve. He gave it to you to prosper while transforming lives. And understanding this is the first step to leaving the employee mentality and entering the identity of someone chosen to build something eternal from what you already carry inside. God is launching an entire generation of chosen ones into a completely different economy from the traditional employment system. A new spiritual economy where you're rewarded for purpose fulfilled, not hours worked. In this divine model, provision doesn't come from a boss who approves your salary. It comes directly from the heavenly source through the channels God opens when you're operating in your correct alignment. It might be clients who appear out of nowhere, opportunities that arise without you looking, doors that open miraculously, but always connected to your gift being activated, never to your resume being approved. This spiritual economy operates with principles completely opposite to the worldly system. Instead of competition, it operates in divine collaboration where each chosen one has a unique niche no one else can occupy. Instead of scarcity, it operates in abundance where there's infinite demand for what God equipped you to offer. Instead of you chasing money, money chases you when you're at the center of your mission. It sounds crazy to the rational mind that was programmed to believe security comes from a signed contract. But for those who understand kingdom principles, it makes perfect sense. God supernaturally sustains those who obey the calling. The transition from worldly economy to spiritual economy doesn't happen overnight. There's a period of faith testing where you need to release the illusory security of the traditional system before seeing divine provision flow completely. It's like Moses having to leave Egypt before seeing the Red Sea open. It's Peter having to get out of the boat before walking on water. God won't finance your plan B while you refuse to fully commit to his plan A. But when you finally leap, when you choose to trust that the gift he gave you is enough to sustain you, you enter a dimension of provision that no job could ever give you. Here's a kingdom principle that will turn your head upside down. Provision isn't the result of how much you sweat, but how much you're aligned. You can work 80 hours a week at a job that exhausts you and barely pay the bills, while someone operating in divine purpose works 20 hours and prospers abundantly, not because they're smarter or luckier, but because provision flows naturally when you're on the right path. God doesn't reward blind effort. He multiplies directed obedience. It's the difference between rowing against the current and sailing with the divine wind in your favor. When you're building from your gift, doing what you were designed to do, something supernatural happens. The right doors open, the right people appear, the right opportunities arise without you forcing anything. It's not magic, it's spiritual alignment creating natural flow of abundance. Think of Jesus feeding multitudes with a few loaves. It wasn't about quantity of initial resources. It was about divine blessing multiplying what was in the right hands being used for the right purpose. Likewise, your gift in your hands being used for the mission God gave you has potential for supernatural multiplication that no amount of effort in the wrong job could ever achieve. This doesn't mean you'll sit around waiting for money to fall from the sky without doing anything. It means you work intensely, but on what matters, on what has divine anointing, on what generates eternal fruit beyond just paying bills. You plant seeds of your gift wisely, cultivate genuine relationships, serve with excellence, but you do all this from purpose, not desperation. And when you operate from this place of trust that God will provide because you're obeying the calling, provision stops being constant struggle and becomes natural consequence of being exactly where you should be, doing exactly what you were created to do. Before you can fully enter this new spiritual economy, you need to unlearn decades of mental programming about work, money, and success that's been shoved into your head since childhood. Study hard, get a good job, work 30 years at the same company, retire. This script might have worked for your grandparents' generation, but for chosen ones living in 2025 with divine gifts that demand expression, it's prison disguised as security. You were conditioned to believe that rebellion against this system is irresponsibility, when in truth blind obedience to this system is the real waste of your life. The programming goes deep. Money doesn't grow on trees. Work dignifies man. You have to suffer to succeed. If you don't work, you don't eat. All these phrases carry half-truths mixed with lies that keep you trapped. Money really doesn't grow on trees, but divine provision flows from sources your natural logic can't predict. Work dignifies when aligned with purpose, but enslaves when divorced from it. You don't need to suffer to win. You need to obey. And those operating in divine gift work more intensely than any employee, just on something that actually matters. These limiting beliefs were planted by a system that profits from you staying small, obedient, and too scared to risk. Unlearning requires you to actively question every belief about money and work you inherited without examining. Get a notebook and write. What do I really believe about work? Where did this belief come from? Does it serve my purpose or keep me trapped? You'll discover that 90% of your financial beliefs came from people who never lived in divine alignment. So why would you accept career advice from those who never fulfilled spiritual mission? Freeing yourself from this programming doesn't happen instantly, but it begins when you decide that God's voice about your calling weighs more than the opinion of a society that wants you domesticated, predictable, and conformed to the common mold. The biggest trap preventing chosen ones from activating their gift is the lie that you need to be 100% ready before starting. You keep waiting for the perfect course, the ideal financial moment, absolute confirmation of every detail of the plan. But here's the truth. You'll never feel completely ready, and God isn't waiting for you to achieve perfection to release the mission. He calls you with what you have now, not with what you'll have in 5 years. Moses stuttered but liberated a people. David was a teenager but took down a giant. The disciples were uneducated fishermen but turned the world upside down. Stop looking for a job and start today building with your gift, even if it's an imperfect version 1.0. Starting now means imperfect action instead of eternal planning. If your gift is writing, publish the first article today, not 6 months from now when you think it's perfect. If it's teaching, offer the first class even without having a professional platform set up. If it's creating, sell the first piece even though you don't think you're at the level of great artists. Each imperfect step you take in obedience to the calling is supernaturally multiplied by God, while perfect planning that never leaves paper generates no fruit. Provision starts flowing when you start acting, not when you finish preparing. The "I'll start when" mentality is spiritual procrastination disguised as prudence. I'll start when I have money saved, but money only comes when you start. I'll start when I know everything, but you only learn by doing. I'll start when God gives a clear sign, but He already gave the sign when He planted the gift in you. Now He waits for obedience. So close that job search tab, open a new document, and write, "How can I start using my gift today with what I have, where I am?" Whatever answer comes is your first step, and this seemingly small step is what opens the door to divine provision that was waiting for you to stop planning and start building. If you're going to release the illusory security of traditional jobs to follow your divine purpose, you need to develop the ability to hear God's voice with crystal clarity. Because on this journey, He's your CEO, your strategic advisor, your financial director, everything. The good news is that God doesn't hide direction from those who genuinely want to obey. The bad news is that His voice competes with 1,000 other voices: fear, others' opinions, human logic, social pressure. And you need to learn to discern which is which. Start with intentional silence. Turn off social media, remove the constant noise, create sacred space where you can really listen instead of just hear. God's voice manifests in specific ways you learn to recognize with practice. Inexplicable peace about decisions that seem crazy logically. Doors that open without you forcing when you're on the right path. Repeated signs that appear at strategic moments. A verse that jumps off the page. A random conversation that confirms exactly what you were thinking. An opportunity that arises precisely when you asked for direction. Write these confirmations in a spiritual journal because your rational mind will try to convince you it was coincidence. But when you document, you see the divine pattern revealing itself consistently. Learn to differentiate God's voice from fear's voice. God challenges you, but also gives you peace in the process. Fear paralyzes you and fills you with anxiety. God takes you out of your comfort zone, but confirms with signs and provision along the way. Fear pushes you to desperate decisions without any confirmation. God speaks in ways that align with His word and His character. Any voice that contradicts biblical principles or leads you to destructive paths isn't His. Practice this spiritual hearing daily. Wake up and ask, "What do you want me to do today?" Wait for the answer. Obey even when it doesn't make complete sense, and document the results. Over time, you'll recognize His voice as clearly as you recognize a close friend's voice. Go back to that stuck feeling we talked about earlier. Now you understand it's not a character flaw, it's divine redirection. But it goes further. Even the apparent slowness of your progress compared to other people isn't failure. It's God's intentional refinement preparing you to carry the weight of the mission without breaking halfway through. While others climb quickly in corporate careers, you seem to be walking in circles, but you're actually being molded in deep layers that will sustain you when purpose finally explodes. The world's speed isn't God's speed, and the chosen one who understands this stops comparing and starts trusting in perfect divine timing. This slowness that frustrates you so much is God forcing you to develop solid foundation before building the edifice. He knows that if you received quick success without corresponding maturity, it would destroy you. Your ego would inflate. You'd deviate from purpose. You'd use the gift for your own glory instead of divine glory. So he deliberately keeps you in a process that seems slower than it should, testing your heart at each phase, ensuring you're building on rock and not sand. It's not punishment. It's protection against premature collapse that destroys so many who rise too fast without internal structure to sustain. So next time you look at someone who's already made it while you're still starting out, remember, you don't know their internal process. Don't know if the foundation is solid. Don't see the price they'll pay later for having skipped essential steps. Focus on your journey. Trust that God didn't delay you. He prepared you. The divine resistance that prevented you from following easy paths, the apparent slowness that frustrated you, the laziness that paralyzed you in wrong jobs. All of this was God guiding you with firm love away from shortcuts that seemed tempting but led to cliffs. You're not late. You're exactly on time to fulfill exactly what was designated for you since before you were born. What we're talking about here isn't simply opening a business in the traditional sense. It's spiritual entrepreneurship, where you build from the spirit and not from survival. The difference is fundamental. Common entrepreneurship is born from wanting to make money or escape a boss. Spiritual entrepreneurship is born from obedience to divine calling and desire to impact the kingdom through the gift that was given. One is moved by financial need. The other is moved by sacred mission that consequently generates abundant provision. One makes you anxious because it depends only on you. The other gives you peace because you know God is majority partner and guarantees the outcome when you do your part. Building from the Spirit means every business decision passes through the filter of, is this aligned with my purpose or just with my pocket? It means you choose projects based on spiritual impact, not just on how much they'll pay you. It means you set fair prices that honor the value you deliver, but also trust that God will supply even when you refuse lucrative opportunities that would divert you from mission. It means you treat clients as souls God placed in your path, not just as revenue numbers. This approach may seem naive to the smart people in the business world, but it operates in a dimension of divine favor they'll never access. Spiritual entrepreneurship also means you don't build alone. You seek divine wisdom before each strategic move. You pray about important decisions. You fast when you need clarity. You tithe and give offerings not from religious obligation, but from recognizing everything comes from the heavenly source. And when you operate from this place of total alignment, supernatural things happen. Doors open that no networking would open. Provision arrives from unexpected sources. Multiplication happens beyond what your natural capacity would explain. You're not just building a business. You're edifying a ministry disguised as a company, where your divine gift transforms lives while abundantly sustaining you. And this is the model God always wanted for the chosen from the beginning. So now tell me, after everything you discovered here, will you still waste another day sending resumes for jobs that drain your soul? Or will you finally have courage to activate the gift God gave you and start building from purpose? Will you keep believing the lie that security comes from a fixed salary while your mission starves? Or will you take the leap of faith into the new spiritual economy where provision follows obedience to the calling? The divine resistance you feel won't disappear until you stop fighting it and start cooperating with the redirection God is doing in your life. Look back and recognize every job door that closed, every interview that failed, every time you felt stuck. All of this was divine protection preventing you from wasting years on paths that seemed safe but would take you completely away from purpose. You're not lazy. You're being firmly guided away from the worldly system and towards spiritual entrepreneurship, where your gift becomes your sustenance. The question now is, what will you do today, at this exact moment, to start building with what God gave you? Don't wait to be 100% ready. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for more confirmation. You already have the gift, already have divine resistance pushing you, already have the message you needed to hear. If this word resonated deeply with you, if it finally makes sense why traditional jobs never worked, if you're ready to stop looking for work and start building purpose, then don't keep this to yourself. Subscribe to the channel because we're going to continue exploring how chosen ones prosper outside the traditional system with practical and spiritual content that will equip you for the journey. Leave in the comments what city you're watching from and what gift you're going to start activating today. I want to know where the chosen ones are who are ready to leave the matrix of traditional employment. And turn on notification bells because each video brings revelation that might be the missing piece for you to finally enter complete alignment with your mission. Remember, God didn't give you a divine gift for you to starve. He gave it to you to prosper while transforming lives. Now go and build.